Over the last 25 years, I've made millions of dollars from Google search rankings and other search engine rankings. And today, what we're going to do is show you exactly how that works, from getting rankings, understanding content, having the right domain name, knowing what keywords to rank for, and everything like that. If you're interested in getting traffic and making money, this is the video to watch. In this video, I'm going to break everything down for you step by step, and I'm actually going to show you some prompts that I use that make the AI think differently about content. Yep, that's right. At the end of the hour or so that we hang out here and talk about SEO, you're going to get that aha moment that's going to change the way that you think about content. Starting with some of the little prompts that we have in different directions of where you're going to go in the world of AI with SEO. This is super important because AI has literally changed the landscape of the SEO world, where a lot of people are getting stuck and they don't know where to go. However, Google is still raking in money hand over fist using search engine rankings. And there's lots of people out there that are getting traffic from Google and are making a ton of money. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at those people. We're going to look at what they're doing. We're going to look at the things that I'm doing, and we're going to show you exactly what works and how. This is about reverse engineering everything. And let me give you a little sneak peek of how this works. If I was to fire up ChatGPT right like this and type in a niche, I'm going to show you how this prompt makes us think different about content. Let's start off by saying I am in the make money online niche. What I want to do is I want to make sure that this prompt understands content in a different way. Most people are going to go out there and they're going to say make money online, make money with ChatGPT, make money with affiliate marketing, ways to make money, and all of these what are known as long tail keywords. That's not what I want. What I want is specific content around the niche that drives people to the things that make me money, generate leads, and build businesses. This is super important. If we can crack this code right here, right now, I think you're going to have a little aha moment. So let's go ahead and paste in that JSON prompt to give you a test of what's to come. Now, as you can see here, the AI is going to work. It's a little slow because this is a robust prompt, but what it's doing is it's making what I call sideways content. If you were in the chemistry niche, you wouldn't just go for chemistry, chemistry lessons, chemistry tips, chemistry whatever. You're going to go for the list of periodic table elements. You're going to go for different beakers and Bunsen's and whatever other things they have in the world of chemistry. This is what's known as sideways content. Now, in the affiliate marketing make money niche, this is very important because if we can go through and break this down into core entities, what are the ways to make money, processes and systems used to make money, adjacent fields, objects and items, and on we go. What you're going to see is this is literally going to break everything down for you. And then when you do your keyword research, there's going to be no competition, and the content is virtually designed to get you traffic. This is super important, and this training is going to change the way you think about making money online with AI content. So if you're excited to see this and 107 other prompts that'll help you with SEO and AI, smash a like button. Let's fire up the computer and get to work. All right, everyone, welcome to the show. Today what we're going to do is look at different prompts related to SEO. Now, these are very important because what we're doing is we're looking at my 25 years of being in the SEO industry. We are looking at a lot of things that people struggle with, a lot of things that experts have said, and boiling it down into different things that will get you results if you use them. Now, we always want to remember that this is a business. The results are not typical, implied, or guaranteed. While I've gone through and made lots of money online, the vast majority of people trying to quote-unquote make money online literally make nothing. So we want to understand this, and we want to look at this in a real-world way and understand where we're going. And that's what the whole idea behind personality prompts is going through and looking at why certain people think different and why they get the result that they get. Super, super important. Now, first of all, I want to kind of outline this by giving you some SEO tips and tactics. SEO, obviously, is the art of ranking on Google so that we can get traffic. Now, while everyone's out there looking at AI and Facebook and all these other things, which we touch on as well, what's happening is SEO is just kind of slow and steady doing its thing, and it's not even slow. It's just incredibly steady with lots and lots of money behind it. So it's a business that I think everyone needs to get into. And now that we have AI, it's even more simple. The complexities are taken out because AI does a lot of the heavy lifting for you and a lot of the content creation and different things like that. I have ranked lots of websites throughout the years, thousands of different websites. Even some of them with AI, we've ranked for our clients and for ourselves and gotten pretty good results. And what we want to do is talk about how to get that traffic. Traffic is the key to making money online. And without traffic, you are going to struggle. Now, that's not to say that all traffic is created equal. If I get someone here watching a video and they watch an hour-long video, that's a much more valid, more valuable click than someone watching and scrolling 3 seconds of a TikTok video or something like that. So understanding our business, understanding the model of where money comes from, SEO and Google rankings are by far one of the most valuable traffic sources out there. Why? Because people are actively searching for things. We're going to see this happen with AI. That's why learning this type of stuff is so important right now. Now, first of all, what we want to do is we want to focus on quick strategies for making this stuff work. Number one, we're going to look for low competition keyword strategies. When you go in and you look at something, let's say you type in SEO or something like that, what's going to happen here is you're going to see a keyword difficulty score. This is telling us how difficult it is to rank on Google based on all the other things that are there, right? You got SEO, which has like a 96 out of whatever ranking, right? So we got to look at that and we got to understand, okay, that's a very difficult keyword. We want stuff that's a lot easier. That's where we want to target easy to rank keywords by focusing on keywords with low difficulty, usually KD 20 or less. Of course, there are outliers and different things as well. Long tail keywords, question-based keywords like how to, what is, different things like that. This is what I call the trigger word method. We've talked about this many times. Also, location specific where applicable. If you're marketing something that is location specific, by all means, use that. Alternative phrasing, year-based, and different things like that. Now, also, some other tips that you can do before we get into these prompts is Reddit and forum keyword mining. You can go through, and this is really where AI shines, and this is where some of these prompts are really going to make a lot of sense to you, because what happens is AI can go out there and it can look at Reddit and different places to get different keywords based on the questions people have. And starting to understand the different questions and things that they're going through, you got to understand, okay, how is this working? What are people wanting? What it does is it teaches you exactly what's going on. So we can search Reddit plus the word help or question or advice or something like that. Also going through and looking at the Wikipedia gap strategy, where we look at different topics that Wikipedia is not doing that good in, and we can use those as well. Also, one of my favorite is the domain and website strategy, where we're going to go through and buy aged or expired or auction domains to make it work in a very, very specific way, where we can understand exactly what's going on and build up a site the way that we did it. We have a site that we're working on right now. We're building up and it's ranking really well. Have several others that we're ranking, one in the video marketing niche that's actually a pretty competitive niche, and we're getting traffic literally all day, every day on that site with AI-based content. Not that hard to do. We just have to focus on getting good stuff that people want. Now, also we could go through and look at the different domains and things, content strategy for fast rankings. Sometimes you can do like comparison or lists or things like that people would want to see. Now, I go through here and I look at this because what this is going to do is it's going to get us on the right track for when we go through these prompts and we understand how they work. Again, AI is a tool. You can have one person that's using AI that gets terrible results and just creates, things that nobody cares about. Then on the other hand, you can have someone that creates stuff that actually makes money, which is what we're doing here. Earlier, or actually I think it's almost a year ago now, I created a membership site with AI that has gone on and made me a lot of money. Why? Because I understand what it is that we want the AI to do. Same thing when you're doing SEO and trying to rank in Google. We want to look at what is it that we want the SEO to do? How can we understand, or what is it we want the AI to do rather? How can we understand SEO in a different way? How can we go out there and look at different ideas from different people, put them together, and make it our own so that we can rank. Also looking at easy rankings by looking at the schema, the structure of your articles and things like that, internal linking, and on we go. Now, watch out for quick wins that have like, oh, hey, we're going to do guest posting on your behalf and stuff like that. Not always the best way to go. Make sure your content is refreshed and everything like that. Now, when we go through and we start to look at our SEO prompts over here, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to look at the different tasks that we would do on a day-to-day basis to get ranked on the search engines. What would this look like? How would we go through and understand what's going on? For example, if I'm brand new and I have a website, maybe I would want to go through and use that sideways SEO map prompt we talked about earlier, where I could go through and say, okay, think about my content in a different way, help me understand what this market would want. And looking at these prompts, what's going to happen is we're going to go through and understand our market in a completely different way. So if we go through and we use this prompt, and again, these are designed to be the prompt where you could just go through and enter one thing and it'll do the rest of the work for you. So if we were to go to new chat and say, I am in the magic tricks niche, please use this. What'll happen is instead of going to something like Ahrefs and typing in magic tricks, what's going to happen is you're going to see, okay, we have a taper, magic tricks, easy, card, beginners, stuff like that. What's going to happen is now it's going to think about it in a different way, and it's going to do horizontal content. This is something that you can go through and use in your SEO where you understand, okay, this isn't just about this one keyword, it's about the market as a whole. As I mentioned earlier, thinking about it like in the world of chemistry, you're not just going to rank for words about chemistry. You're going to go out there and you are going to look for words like the periodic table and things like that and understand what's going on. Same thing if you were to go through with magic tricks, you're going to see it's going to go through and make this very, very specific based on sideways content. So you'd have magic tricks, coins, ropes, rings, all this other stuff here, stage magic, close-up magic, all the different types of magic, and everything like that, and it's going to start to understand exactly what's going on. Now, it looks like it timed out a little bit, but when we do this, oftentimes what's going to happen is it's going to give us a very, very robust, as you see, very robust overview of what our content would look like. This is super, super important. Ben said he used the Elon Musk prompt from, I believe it was Monday's video. Yes, that is exactly what we're doing here, is we're boiling down what is it that makes these things think different? What is it that I can put into AI so that it knows? I mean, a lot of people will go to AI and they'll be like, oh, hey, act like an SEO expert and do this. Okay, that's fine and good. It's better than just write an article, but it's not capturing the essence of what it is that makes something rank, that makes content good, and helps us understand what will rank in the first place. Now, when we go through here, what I've done is I've actually made 108 different prompts in 16 different categories from 40 different SEO experts. So we went out there, I used AI, and kind of guided it along to understand, okay, well, who are the top experts? What do they say about SEO? How can we make those into prompts so that I can get the same kind of thing that I'm looking for? And when we do that, what we're going to see is something like content planning and strategy. You'll see like audience first content, build content strategy around your audience's needs. So now using these together, what's going to happen is you'll see, okay, this is going to make a content strategy around the audience needs. You're an SEO specialist, and then it'll have those different things with it. It's much like when you go shopping for paint, right? Like you go to Home Depot and you're like, hey, I want, this color here to be on my walls. And you might not know what it's called. It might be like the ochre special or whatever color it is. But what they have is they have a number that explains that color, right? You go in and you're like, oh, that's XY40261002. And they will know, boom, that's the exact color you get. That's what we're trying to do with prompting, where you're getting the same output based on specific things, where I don't have to walk in and try to understand this color. I could go in and it will know it based on the prompt that I give it. This is super important because going through here, now we can take this and say, okay, well, I'm in the, magic tricks niche or whatever, and it'll do that for us. Next up, we have let's actually test some of these as well. I'll pick some of the ones that I really like that we can go through, and then, we'll test those ones. If we have time, we'll go through some more towards the end. Now, looking at this audience first, what I would do is say, okay, well, how does this actually work? Let's say we want to do something for maybe magic and marketing. Use this. And what will happen is it'll help me understand this in a different way, which is super important because now it's kind of like having your own swipe file of prompts that you can use to get good SEO stuff. So the primary input, magic and marketing, uses principles of magic to create content and campaigns to engage and convert audiences. So pretty cool stuff. It's starting to understand exactly what's going on. And what will happen is it's going to direct that AI. It's much like I learned when I was in rehab. My coach, trainer, guide in rehab said, the mind is like a lens and you get what you focus on. Same thing with AI. AI is like a lens. What you direct it at is the output you're going to get. Far too many people are directing it the wrong way. I think okay, is it cute and fun to make videos on, a Sora 2? Sure. Is that actually going to make us money in the long run? Can we spend less time doing something that's going to provide more value, that's going to get us more money? And the answer is emphatically yes. So going through and looking at this beyond SEO content vision builder, this is where it will go through and help you get out of the SEO bubble and into maybe I could do a Pinterest or a Facebook or something like that. Understanding content, again, developing a content marketing strategy beyond just SEO. Or an influencer relationship mapper where it'll go through and say, oh, who are the influencers in this niche? This would be something that's very, very good if you were to go through and say, in the magic niche, who are the top influencers? It'll go through and do that research for you, and it's helping you think in a different way. A lot of people might not have thought, okay, I can do influencer relationship type stuff, or audience targeting tool, where it'll target specific audiences. Now, when we go into this different stuff, what's going to happen is you're going to see where these fit together. Okay, so if we have topic cluster master planner, all right, I copy this one here, I can go through and say, now on the whole niche, use this. And it'll go through and it'll say, okay, based on all the keywords that we went through so far, based on all this stuff, here's what you should do with your pillar content, your SEO content, your psychology stuff, different content buckets and things like that, where this is actually going to help you understand, oh, I have this website that's about, like the one we're making right now in the challenge, is the wedding invitations one, where we're doing different wedding invitations. What would this look like in the wedding invitations niche? And what's going to happen is this is structuring it based on the way that Google and SEO and LLMs and different things rank content. They're looking for these hubs that have this stuff where it's like, okay, do you have a section for the props, tools, and gimmicks and things like that? Do you have one for how to perform? Looking at it as a whole, understanding, okay, what makes a site an authority site? These prompts will help. Another one here is technical SEO audit checklist builder, where it'll give you a checklist for auditing your website, understanding, okay, what can I fix? What can I change? Very important stuff there. Now, these are more or less content strategy planning type ones. Once we get into the actual creation of the content, you're going to see where these really start to shine, because when we go through like content creation, okay, this is one that a lot of people are going to look at. How do I create content that this SEO is going to work for? How can we create something that'll actually get picked up and ranked? Well, first of all, having that strategy, knowing the keyword to go for, is pretty much everything. Like if you have the right keyword, you can rank it. If you have the wrong one, you're not going to rank it. And the cool thing about it is, as a marketer, I can choose whatever I want to rank for. Whether it's easy or hard is up to me. And if I can figure out a way to monetize either one, then boom, there we go. Now, when we get into the 1,500-word content blueprint builder, let's take a look at what this looks like. It looks pretty robust. Let's say we wanted to go through and I want, let's say we do one on stage presence or something like that, okay? So we'll choose this, stage presence, or what is misdirection or something like that. Let's pick one that'll give a good overview on. Maybe we could do this one, okay? Let's go up to the top here, and then what will happen is it'll show you, let's use this for how to create a routine, whatever, right? And it'll go through and it'll understand that from an SEO standpoint, which is going to help us make content that'll actually rank and do well. Now, am I just going to copy and paste this right out of the gate, throw it up and hope it ranks? Probably not. I mean, I want to overlook it. I want to make sure it's good. I want to add to it, put my affiliate links, put my offers and things like that so that I get something good. But what we're seeing here is now it's understanding like, hey, let's have some examples. Let's have some reading time, stuff like that, which is really cool. So it's giving us that overview, making a good piece of content, giving us SEO requirements, different stuff like that. And then I could say, now let's make the article. And it'll go through and create that article for me. So what this is doing is it's kind of like having the right recipe where it has all the ingredients. If you have the wrong ingredients, you're not going to be able to make what you want. If you don't know, hey, you need to sear this first, then your stuff's not going to come out like the restaurant. If you want it to come out like the pros, this is what we're doing, and this is why we're boiling it down into these prompts. When we look at stuff like personality prompts, I think, did we have our background there? Where did our background go? There we go. There. I don't know how long that background went away, but it's back now. So now we're starting to understand and look at how all of this stuff works in a real world way. Super important, super good to look at, and understanding, okay, now it's understanding what makes these things tick. What makes this stuff rank? What helps us get where we want to go? All of this is super important, and you can see this is actually a really good article. It's got the conclusion, it's got a little reference, internal link strategy. Notice how this is different from your normal run-of-the-mill, let's generate a bunch of bulk content that doesn't even matter. We're actually creating stuff that matters. Again, looking at that, having it build that content blueprint is very fast, very good, and it's going to give you something that is unique. Next up, we have the value proposition content creator. This is where you're going to go through and you're going to say, this is what makes me different. This is what makes this different for me. What is it that makes your business different from this other one? If you're Pepsi, what makes you different than Coke? Or if you're root beer or something like that, what is it that makes you different? And what happens here is this is going to go through and it's going to look for content gaps, which is really cool. And you can even use this and say, in the magic market, use this. And it'll find those content gaps and it'll help you understand, okay, well, where can I be the voice of reason? Where could I go through and make something that's actually going to help these people, actually going to get them ahead, whereas before, I'm just stuck making content like everyone else. This is supposed to really help us understand our market in a different way so that we can create things that they actually want to consume, they actually want to read, and they will use, right? And when we look at this, we see it's literally breaking it down like a business structure where it's like, okay, here's the competitor analysis. What do we got? You got YouTube videos, product reviews, famous musician bios. Okay, that's something that, again, a lot of people wouldn't think about that for their SEO content. They're not going to think, okay, what are the top tips that Lance Burton uses or whatever, right? Starting to understand that is key. Also, looking at the content gaps of what is missing, what's out there that people don't know exists, what's out there that people could do more of, psychological breakdowns. Why do tricks work? Performance building frameworks. That's a big one. When I used to be a magician, nobody taught you how to build a routine. It was very rare, but that was something I was interested in, and I would have paid a lot of money for that. There was one guy who had a routine building DVD, but it was not very good. And starting to look at that and understand, okay, magician mindset training, all of this stuff is what is going to help you. And this is things that, if there's someone who's interested in being a magician, this is going to help them. Well, they'll be like, oh, now I need to know the psychology behind this. That's something that's going to set you apart, which is key to SEO. The search engines are always looking for new, good stuff that's positioned differently. Search intent matcher. This is a good one where it's actually going to go through. One of the biggest signals that we've seen on all of the search engines, mainly Google, because they are the big kahuna. There isn't even a close second when people are like, oh, ChatGPT is taking over. No, it's not. Google still gets like 8 million searches a minute. ChatGPT gets like 8 million a day or something, right? Do they get a lot of questions and queries? Yes, but it's different than actual search. Starting to understand that is super key, okay? So now we're going through and we're looking at this and we're like, okay, well, what would the intent look like? Ian, good to have you back. So looking at this, what would we do if we wanted that intent? Now, going through here and understanding would be key. If we were to look at like a keyword, let's say you were going to do something like mortgage, okay? And you look at something like mortgage rates today or something like that, I can go through and I could say, let's say we use Gemini, mortgage rates today, put the prompt in. And again, these prompts are very, very highly thought out, and we're even going even more detailed in them, looking at them, testing each one to give you something to where all you have to do is put in, hey, this is the keyword, do your magic. And that's what it's really about, is understanding what is the flow like of making content that's actually going to put money in our pocket. Now, first of all, understanding intent is absolutely 1,000% key. Like, that is what Google says. They're like, if you miss the intent, you ain't gonna get traffic. Why? Because there's a reason people search for things. And when you look at that reason, not only are you gonna help people and get more traffic, but you're also going to be able to convert that traffic because you're going to know what they want. So now we see it gave us a little breakdown. Search intent. Let's see what it did here. It looks like it missed it. Here's the analysis. So it gave it back to us in a JSON prompt. Now a report non-JSON about the intent. Sometimes you have to back them out of intent or out of the JSON. So maybe add something to the bottom that says reply in regular or non-JSON or whatever. Just makes it a little bit harder to read and understand. So now what's going to happen is this is saying search intent analysis report for mortgage rates today. This report outlines the user intent behind the search query, mortgage rates today, and provides whatever. Now we're saying the user goal, they want to accomplish one thing quickly, find out the current up-to-the-minute mortgage rate for home loan. So this is saying to a site like Google, oh, hey, just put the mortgage rate on the homepage, you're going to be fine, right? Urgency level is super high. Optimal format is going to be a landing page centered around a live or daily updated mortgage rate table. Content depth, quick answer, structure, and tone. Now, when you do this, you could say, okay, well, what would it look like if we actually wanted to rank for this? I had a ranking for prime rate. I didn't have the mortgage daily one. We had a ranking for prime rate. It did really, really well. We had people that were looking up the prime rate for mortgages, which is very similar to this one, and starting to understand, okay, this works really, really well. Looking at that and understanding, okay, what can the intent be like? Maybe you'll have something else like the intent non-JSON for someone looking up love letter templates. Okay, something like that, you could go through and be like, okay, well, what would these people look up? What would they want? Are they looking for Etsy? Are they looking for this? This is where you're going to use AI in a next level way. And I think that's what a lot of people are struggling with. That's why I'm opening up personality prompts, because I think a lot of people are struggling with the idea of, how do I use AI in a way that's actually going to build me a business and make this work? Like, we see things, we see the output, but we don't really know what to do with it or why one output is good and one is not good. Starting to understand that is key. Ian says, would you put this on a one-page promotion or a multi-page blog? So for this, if you were making content and you're looking at SEO, you're probably going to do the blog route where you're making a giant site with content. So now we're looking at this and we have search intent analysis, love letter templates. Okay, the goal, find pre-written examples, fill in the blank, likely experiencing writer's block, uncertainty. They want to express their emotions. The urgency is medium to high. The search is often tied to a specific occasion. Interesting, it's telling us the trends there, which is crazy. And then we have secondary intent is transactional, where they're finding and looking for templates. I like that. That's saying, hey, if you want to make money, throw something on an Etsy store and sell the templates. Optimal format would be a listicle, content depth, and then going through the structure and tone. Are you seeing how this helps you understand keywords at a different level, where you're like, okay, this is the intent behind someone searching, rather than just, I'm going to make content because apparently the internet needs content. This is going to help you. Looking at examples of what successful content would look like, greeting cards, wedding and lifestyle blogs, general how-tos, and things of that nature. Trevor says that prompt would work great in an automation workflow, 100%. A lot of these, what we're doing is we're building workflows around these. Now, I don't fully automate them because I think we do still need a human in the process, and that's where we're going to go through and build that up. But yes, absolutely, these are meant to be made in conjunction with each other. Like obviously we would go through and we would use the one that does the keyword research and then use the article one to write the article about the keywords. And again, understanding the intent and understanding the flow and how do we build this and grow it. A lot of people are looking for that quick win. And it's funny because like you have it. You have the quick win. It is called AI. People don't want to go through and use it the right way to make stuff work and make stuff happen. Here at the old affiliate marketing dude, right? We're using this all day, every day. Lots of people here using AI all day, every day, understanding, okay, how do we make this AI create something that's going to build that business? That's what we're boiling down here and looking at the intent. Also, we have a hook first introduction writer. So this would go through and say, okay, how do we make a hook that is going to go through and build this up? How are we going to go through and build this up and get people interested? Okay, so if I had an article about these love letters, let's do now for the love letter article, run this. And it's like you're just running a script on it. It's like, okay, install this, now do this, right? Much like in the Matrix movie where he goes through and installs all the skills to his brain. That's what we're doing. We're installing a set of instructions that will call the skill that the AI could bring into it. And starting to look at that is like, okay, really cool. And see how it has the different frameworks. Now answer non-JSON. And I'll go through on the ones that we have on personality prompts and I'll have it say non-JSON. Looks like ChatGPT understood it. Gemini just wants to respond in JSON, but that's all good. At least it's given us something, right? And we could always tell it to jump out of it. So now we go through and we can see the introduction options for love letter templates article. Here are 4 distinct introduction options: the problem, agitation, question, staring at a blank page trying to write the perfect love letter. That's not bad. Or the bold statement, the most romantic love letter you'll ever write is closer than you think, right? Looking at these, it's going to start to have your content created differently. And that's the key. And what I would say do, if you're looking to get SEO stuff, do a first pass, get something up there, see if it ranks, then go back and add the other stuff to it line by line once you have traffic so that you can monetize it. I don't necessarily need the hook right up front, but once I start to see where I rank, I can add that in and make it better. Another one we have here is scannable content formatter. That's actually pretty cool, where we go through in marketing and we look at this. We could go through and say, okay, in marketing, people skim your sales letter. Everybody knows that. They're not reading it letter by letter, word by word. And so if we can have that skimmable dual path, I think it was Frank Kern who brought that up, where he's like, okay, you have a dual path where you have the skimmers and you have the readers. We want to write for both people where the headlines are getting the skimmers and the deep stuff is speaking about that. But no matter how you read it, it'll still make sense. This will go through and it'll make scannable content for you, where we could go through and say, maybe we're going to go through here and say, now run this, answer non-JSON. And see how it's just like, boom, here you go. It's like back in the day when I was first using computers, back when we had the green screen, right? That was the big one. And you'd have to change the different floppy disks to get the different things. That's what this is doing, only
with AI, and a lot more robust and a lot better output, where you could go through and it's like, okay, let me put in this set of instructions to get this output. So if we look at, like, here's the generated raw content, formatted new stuff, what makes a love letter unforgettable, key takeaway. So it's having those skimmable things. See how that's making it much easier to read? This is key. Easy to read, works well. Ian says, is ChatGPT your go-to? Actually, ChatGPT is one of my least favorite AIs. It's okay. And if you're using Copilot, Copilot is ChatGPT. I think there's different uses for different things. If I'm writing articles, ChatGPT is pretty decent. Gemini's a little bit better. Claude's even better than that. But yeah, use what you like. This will work for all of them. Next up, we have scannable content, semantic SEO enricher. This is where it's going to enhance content with semantically related terms. Okay, cool. So if we're building this up and I'm like, okay, now I need some related terms. Now this, again, non-JSON. And what I could do is I could run this through. This is something that a lot of people miss, that this is why I'm starting the business, personalityprompts.com. It is something that I'm literally going all in on, because one of the things that I learned early on with AI when I had a content business is we had a structure that people followed. So I had a team of outsourcers. At one point, we had like 20 or so. And the team of outsourcers would go through a process. I would say, first, get the intent. They'd go through, they'd get the intent of the SEO. Then get your outline for your article. Then do this, this, and this. And then at the end of the day, we'd have an article, we'd charge for it, and there we go. And so understanding that these are the processes you could go through, and you could literally start with a keyword, boom, 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 then write an article. Now you have something that you can go put out there and hopefully rank on Google, hopefully make some money, and looking at it in a specific way, right? It doesn't take that much work. You just have to be like, you have to be willing to do 10% more than the next guy, because nobody thinks about, how do I stack these up and make something really, really, really good? How do I make something where if I have this love letter template, it's the best thing ever? I could go share it on Facebook. I could put it over here. I could put it there, and start to understand that process. Now we have the semantic SEO stuff. Okay, cool. Now I could go through and have it write the entire article, right? Understanding that's key. Looking at that and understanding that the computer is going to look at it in terms of different things they want, different things that people want. If you're in the magic trick niche, they're going to look at cards and coins and illusions and things like that. And it's going to look for those, and that's what's going to help you rank. Also, going through even more, looking at a content refresh and relaunch. What do you do if something you have isn't ranking as good as you want it to? Maybe I go out there and I say, okay, well, I have this website. It's ranking for a term. I'll pull one up so we could show you in real time what this would look like. And then we'll get into some of the specific ones that'll do site maps and crazy things like that. What you're going to see is, I mean, just between you, me, and the wall here, again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. I paid $10,000 one year for an SEO course, flew out to Atlanta, had this whole live conference about SEO, and what I'm showing you here, I would have felt better paying 10 grand for. Like what I'm seeing here, that conference was like, it was okay, but I ended up leaving and seeing my family because I was like, this is just, in my opinion, it was not worth 10 grand at all. And what I'm showing you here, gurus charge for less, but a lot of people don't want to sit and look at where this goes. Where does this fit? How do I build it? I think the number one thing when it comes to SEO and making money online and building businesses, where it's easy to be like, oh, let me drop, $1,000 or $10,000 on some guru course. I think people miss the boat when it's like, okay, well, what if I'm just curious and I start to think about this in a different way, starting to understand it, right? Someone is saying that people are doing 100% automation, spitting out thousands of pages. That is spam. That is literally the definition of spam. We do not want to do that. I would rather spend the time it takes to make thousands of pages and make one really good one, Why? Because at the end of the day, that's going to make money. This is something I learned the hard way early on, back in my early SEO career, back in like 2003, 2004. Yes, I've been doing this a long time. Luckily, I don't have that much gray hair, but you know, you can see I've been doing this a while. I do have the chops here. And starting to look at this and say, okay, back in the day, we did this. And what I learned the hard way was that 1,000 pages done poorly will not make as much as one done the right way. If you have one done the right way and you focus on exactly what you want and what you need and what the customer wants, that's where the magic is. And when we look at a content refresher, let's say I have this thing, and this is where I do a mix of both. Are we going to do spammy stuff? Of course not. Can I make decent content to see where I land, to see if I could rank? Sure, I could do that. I could make, 100 of those or have a team that writes them. Again, focusing on good things, focusing on what people actually want, focusing on that intent. And then when I start to look at that, I can see what ranks and then make those even better. Does that make sense? Where instead of like, oh, we're just going to do guesswork, now I can go through and look at specific things. So let's say I want to rank for this term. Let's see what I got here. Okay, so I got Hulu affiliate program. All right, so if I wanted to rank for Hulu affiliate program, I could go through and I could see that I think right now I rank number 30 or something like that. Haven't done a whole lot with this, but we could go through. I'll try to find where I'm at. Usually Ahrefs is a bit off, so if it says 30, chances are it's probably not 30. In this case, it looks like, okay, yeah, we're like number 20 something or other. So looking at this, ours is right here. Okay, so what I would do is I would take this. I wrote it January 25, 2022. So it's definitely due for an upgrade. Since ChatGPT and other AIs do know the content, all I'd have to do is put my link in there and say, hey, let's give this bad boy a refresh. Boom, let's make it work. And again, it has everything baked into it, so it's really cool. Ian says, no one, not even the skimmers, like spam articles. Yeah, spam articles, they're just junk. I mean, the amount that those companies make on the traffic they get is so low, it's almost not worth it. I mean, obviously, to each his own. Some people just do what they do, whatever. But what we're looking at is ethical stuff, because at the end of the day, you are on the hook for whatever content you do. I'd rather manage 5 really good articles than 10 million garbage articles that could get me in hot water. So now going through here with the content refresh and relaunch planner, I could go through here and it says, here's a content refresh and relaunch plan tailored for the article, crazy profit method, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. So we could go through and say, here's the opportunities, here's what you can do. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's saying outdated info. That's interesting. So if AI is able to see missing content or outdated info, do you not think that Google's algorithm sees it too? I'm sure it does. Quality scores and things like that. This is where you could go through and say, okay, well, I'm number 30. Maybe I want to do better. And this will go through, it'll get the whole outline. Do you want me to do that for this article? Yes. There we go, pretty cool, right? It'll go through and it'll do this for the article for me, which is pretty cool. Trevor says you can also automate quality content using a reliable system. You can. Say you had a semi-automated system where it's like partly automated, but you still have people. You could have an outsourcer for $100 a week that helps you do all this stuff. And I mean, right now we have some outsourcers that manage, 100 articles a week. It's not that hard to do, or probably less than that. I think they do like 7 a day. So say 50 a week. It's not that hard to do. Okay. So now it's going through. It retitled it Streaming Affiliate Programs. Okay. It's got the keywords there, updated outline. Truth about Netflix and Hulu affiliate programs. This is nice. Got a nice little table. I don't know if mine had a table. Let's see what it looks like here. So it had that. Video's not working. Netflix. So yeah, this is going to be way better content. And this was human written. So I think we're going to do better here with this stuff, which is great. Now, going through here, yeah, human in the loop is absolutely key. Indirect affiliate profit angles. I like that. I didn't even think about that. That's really cool. Bundles, streaming affiliate funnel. This is pretty good. This is good stuff. Showing exactly what's going on. Now, rewrite and refresh my content with this. And then it'll go through and look at that. Now, when you get into some of these, you're going to see that they get really detailed, like experience-driven story generator. Be careful with this one. This is meant to be used to help you make your story, not necessarily make stuff up. AI will make stuff up, so I would be careful with that one. Original data content ideator. Generate content ideas based on original data and proprietary search. Okay, that's cool. Thought leadership. This would be great to pair with like the sideways content one. Very, very good. Also, quality first content auditor. Nice. So I could go through and I could see what does this look like, right? Let's see what happens if I go Gemini. We'll open a new one and I can do, let's put our prompt in there. And let's see if I pick out a page from my blog here. Okay, so here's one about like press releases and SEO. So if I do this, quality first content auditor, answer non-JSON for this page. Let's see how it does here. And again, looking at what it's actually doing, content to audit, keyword to target. It'll probably pull them out. It'll know what we want to rank for. And then we can go through and it'll actually make that audit for us, which is really cool. Also going through, let's see what else we have here. Header tag structures, mobile first. Okay, so that would help for, if you're doing primarily mobile traffic. Definitely going to help there. Okay, so that is the end of the optimized structures. So this is all for content creation and optimization, which is great. Algorithm updates and recovery. So like if you got hit in one of the updates, this can help you. Is it a guarantee? Of course not. Can it help you? Yeah, try it on a couple, see what happens. Proactive update recovery planner. This will give you a whole plan of how do you get your traffic back. Update impact. This will show, were you impacted by an update? Comprehensive recovery roadmap, update type, algorithm update timeline tracker. That's pretty cool. It'll show like, hey, what does this look like? SEO news digest. So that would be more or less for like following the market. Now, some of the other stuff I want to look at here was for on-page SEO. We also had, let's see where it was at. AI search optimization. So that'll help you optimize it. Visibility. So this is visibility for AI stuff, if you want to rank in ChatGPT and things like that. Going through here, we would do, someone is saying that backlinks are hard to get. That's why I do the auction domain method. I find that is the remedy. Like that's the remedy I've been using since, I think, 2002. It works extremely well. And when you start to understand, okay, this thing works, we go through and build it up, okay? Very cool. But using an auction or expired domain is key because you're basically buying a business that has all that with it. And then we build it up, obviously building it up the way that is good based on what actually works, and then there you go. Here's one. This is pretty cool. This will help you get ranked in featured snippets, which will also help with AI, because obviously those AI overviews, featured snippets, very similar type stuff. And if I go through here and say, okay, well, let's get the content I had for this, what was it? I think we had one for the magic trick one, and it was going through this. I could go through and say, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just do a new chat, give it the prompt for featured snippets, and let's give it one of my posts, right? So if I go through and I say, let's do a commission junction. So this is a commission junction overview. It's got a video on it. Answer by remaking the page, not in JSON. So we'll go like that, and it should optimize it for featured snippets. Let's see how this works. Flippa, I usually buy them at GoDaddy. GoDaddy auctions, Namecheap auctions. Flippa can work. I find Flippa to be a little overpriced because they're selling it as an actual site rather than, hey, I'm just getting this domain that for whatever reason they're trying to sell. I find that you get a much, much lower price doing the auction method. And I've bought in some doozies. I've gotten really, really good domains for like less than $1,000, oftentimes less than even $100. Obviously, they're not like zingers, the ones that are $50, but some of them are pretty solid. And when you understand, oh, okay, this is how it works, this is what people want, build it up the way it was, it works really, really, really well. Is there a way to get AI to reach for links? There are, like, if you're going to do that, you might want to use like an agent like Manus. However, again, getting an auction domain, it solves the problem. Like I've literally ranked instantly using those because there's literally no downtime. Especially if you buy them at Namecheap, they literally give you the domain instantly after the auction, which means now I can set up the thing on it. Boom, I'm ready to go. Game Changer. There was one I was bidding on last week that was really good. Went a little higher than I would have liked, but it was a good domain, and taking it over instantly is key there. So now looking at this, it's rewriting it. Here's a clean, up-to-date, rewritten for clarity, skimmability, featured snippet with wins, no JSON, ready to launch. Commission junction, affiliate program review, simple money-making guide. Let's see what the difference is between that and mine. So we have same title, it looks like. Too long, read later, or whatever that is, right? Too long, didn't read. I think that's what that stands for. It's formerly commission junction, one of the biggest this. What is it? How it works? Quick for snippets. So I would remove, obviously, that. Okay? And then going through and looking at it now, it's going to help me, which is really, really good. Yeah, Anders, you want to watch out for that because those would be like not the greatest SEO strategy. So now we see it's actually rewriting it. Again, if you want to rank, I think the key is look at something and do it really, really well, and then get inbound links that matter. Maybe make a press release about it. Maybe go through and make a video about it. Maybe get some links from popular sites about it. Like make it newsworthy that people actually want to link to. And using AI, it changes the game because now you don't have to do all this research and have writer's block and thinking and all that. It'll do it. Original research content planners, plan and execute original research products, focus on original, analyze. So that's to get unique content. Topical authority, that's good. Let's go through and build comprehensive topical authority. Let's see what it does for this. We'll just paste it in there and see how it does. So it's rewriting it, topical authority builder framework written as an SEO strategist. What topical authority really means. So it's giving me an overview, talking about the people who have topical authority things. Okay? And then let's see if it rewrites the article for us. So this is telling us at the blog level, not necessarily the article level, which is fine. We could probably build out from this. Like, let's see here. Now build out a plan starting with this article. Implementation. Okay, so it gives you the example of make money online. And then it has all this. So we'll build it out on CJ Affiliate and see how that works. Next up, we have video SEO. That's a pretty good one. It'll help you make all that. We'll email them out when they're ready. Like it is a list, so we're going to send them out when they're ready. Image SEO optimizer, breadcrumb navigation. So this will go through and see where things are going in and what links to it. Let's see what else. We had a couple other really good ones I wanted to go over, which was emerging trends. This will help you find good content, voice search, visual search, SEO adaptability. There was a couple that I went through that actually like got the sitemap of the site and went through and looked at it. So there's an audit planner, so it'll actually audit your SEO, which is pretty cool. Then we had, let's see, there was one I had, user experience. So CTR booster, this is good. This will help you get more clicks on your offers, more people going deeper into your site. Super important there. Dwell time, how long are they staying on your site? Get them to stay longer. Rank brain. Let's see what else. Conversion rate, that'll optimize, again, clicks and sales and things like that, like pre-selling. Very important there. On page, ad inspired title, and meta writer. Let's go through here and let's run this on CJ. For my CJ article, use this and put them where needed. Let's see what it does here. Hopefully it won't answer in JSON. I don't think it will, but you never know. Okay, cool. So it rewrote the meta description, primary, CJ affiliate program review, commission junction review, CJ affiliate payouts, how it works. So now we have the high CTR title tag options. Okay, these are good. So it's giving me different ways, explained, review. I'd probably use something like this. Legit way to make money, that kind of thing. Then it's going to do meta description. Then we have power words used. A lot of good ones here. Recommendation, ready to add to HTML. That is your title and your meta. So that would be if you're using HTML. You could probably do that in WordPress. I'm not too worried about it. But starting to look at that and say, okay, now we have where to place the CJ article. So it did okay. I like that it did the keywords. Let's see if there's one for ads as well. So that's title and meta. Number-powered title generator. So that would be like 25 top plugins or whatever, right? Let's see what else. Long tail title tag optimizer. That's a mouthful there. Optimize title tags with long tail keywords. Complete on-page SEO checklist. All right, cool. So let's do this. Now run this on the full article. Let's see what this does. And how many of you guys are finding this helpful? Where it's like, okay, now you're seeing how different prompts and tools would work to get different stuff from different types of content, right? Like you're seeing, okay, here's the on-page SEO audit, meta description, here's what it's missing, CTA. And these are the kind of things where you can use for businesses too. Like I could charge businesses to do SEO audits, especially in the age of AI, and I can run these types of things because this for the most part, when people are like, I just want to rank on Google, they never get this deep or this far into it. This is like what SEO guru obsessed people get into, and this is what works for us. That's why it works so well. Priority action list, overall score. I would take whatever SEO score this gives you with a grain of salt. Like they're never that good, but it will tell you what would help. First link priority, optimizing internal linking, authority link suggester. Oh, cool. Suggest high quality authority sites. So that's where you could go through and do like guest posting and things like that. Internal link juice distributor. That's a good one. That way you're not linking to too many of your own pages and not enough outside pages. I think I just read a study where they were saying that the top results usually link to outside pages, which is cool. That's something I should do more of. Smart internal linking mapper, that's cool. So that would go through and look at your site and say what pages, what links would go on what pages and posts. Let's see, I know we had one that did like the whole sitemap thing here. Content formats, content creation, marketing and promotion. viral content, so that's to make your stuff viral. Pruning junk, low performing, get to just the good stuff. Duplicate content merger, that's a good one. Like I have a new article and an old one, how do I put them together? Content relaunch, YouTube descriptions. Let's see where that went. Link building and off-page, skyscraper. Oh, this is cool. So this is going to show you like the skyscraper content idea, where it would be like, oh, here's all these different things that would help, like looking at SEO. Here's backlinks, here's inbound links, here's on title, on page, all of that. It's going to go through and get that in a very specific way. Wikipedia link, list outreach, backlink strategy builder, outreach email for like guest posting, competitor keyword gap analyzer. That's good. So I could give them my keywords, give them the competitors, see the difference between the two. Also going through, let's see, measurement. I think we did those ones. Let's see, technical. These were like console setups. Not too much that I get into here. Plugin selector, sitemap, that was a good one. So it'll build a sitemap from your content. Robots.txt, it'll make that file for you. Indexability, okay, so this is audit and fix index issues preventing pages from appearing in search. That's cool. So you could just give it your URL, boom, it'll go find all that stuff for you. Page speed, that's a good one. Got to have a fast page. Let's see what else we have. Issue, so are there any broken links, duplicates, crawl errors? That's pretty cool. So I could go through and say, okay, well, what's not working on my site? What's abandoned? So here's one, site architect builder. Let's see what this looks like. We'll do a new one, and we'll say affiliate marketing dude.com. Run this. Let's see. It'll analyze my menu and everything, which is pretty cool. And then there was one also that went through and got all of the links for us. CTR booster, dwell time, list building. Maybe it was this one. No, we did that. This is a good one. It'll go through and find the Reddit keywords for you. International technical, content planning, content types and format. So blog structure, case study, infographic content. This is good stuff to pair with your content, where it's like, okay, I have a podcast, how do I make a blog post? Things like that will be really good. Let's see, content marketing and promotion. Algorithm, advanced. I know we had one here that was specific to getting the actual content. Maybe it's in here. Sideways SEO. Indexability, was it this one? Yes. So this was the one that went through and got all the links on my site and was like, okay, here's the problem you have. Here's where you can do better. And bada bing, bada boom. That built it up really good. And it got all like the dead links and the links that work and everything like that. Here's some for local SEO for optimizing your Google profile, local directories. This is a good one, right? Let's say I'm a local, realtor or something like that. This will go out there and find stuff for you. And again, using these in your business and using them if you're helping other customers as well is super key. So if I go ChatGPT and I say, I am a local handyman in Orlando, and then I run that, I'm going to do it off screen because I don't want like info that we don't want. So it does have quite a few. Category alignment, profile completeness, review strategy. So it does show all the top places to submit, all the local places. I mean, this is game-changing stuff. And it has to do with, I remember early on in my business career, someone had said it has everything to do with the questions you ask. If you're getting the results you don't want, it's because you're asking the wrong questions. What the right prompt will do is it'll force you to ask the right questions, and it'll force AI to answer in a way that's going to help you, right? We need to get things that are going to help us, things that are going to get us to that next step and understand exactly what's going on. And that's why going through and looking at these and saying, okay, can I use some of these prompts to make it work? What different types of content can I do? Can I make a case study of, you know, people who bought a certain vacuum or something like that? And starting to understand it in a different way is key, because a lot of people think that this is just about throw a bunch of stuff on your blog, hope that it ranks, and if it doesn't, quit and start something else. Not really. If I spend time making good content and I know it's good content, I'll go and make an infographic piece of content. I'll go and I'll make a white paper or a video or a sequence or something like that that's actually going to get me where I want to go. Now, if you want to follow along and see some of these prompts, we're going to include some of them on the blog over at personalityprompts.com. We're going to put all of these, I'm actually going through each one to see what output I get and make them even better. Those will be in personalityprompts.com, the business site. On that site, you'll see if you want to get the 25 free ones, they're there. You can put your name and email for that. And then if you want to join, we're actually doing a beta test right now. This is going to be a monthly membership. If you want to be a beta tester, it's a lifetime access. As long as I have the site going, you can get in there and be grandfathered in at that. I think it's a no-brainer. It's a really, really good product, and we're building it up into tools and all kinds of crazy things like that. Once it's done, we're thinking somewhere in like the $50 to $100 a month range. So I think you will see that being a beta tester is really key. But starting to understand and look at these and say, okay, well, how can I structure stuff different? How can I use these prompts and understand where we're going and what we want with it, which is really key. Is there a prompt for writing based on our own voice style? There are. You would need to think about, like, what would that paint color swatch look like for your style? What is your style? What I would do is probably take one of your blog posts or something that you've written, feed it into it and ask it. A lot of this is about reverse engineering what's going on. If I can reverse engineer what's happening, and that's where this whole idea started, was how can I figure out, like, what makes Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos think different and why? Why do they think different than the vast majority of people, and why does that help them get a result? How can we boil that down into something that gives instructions to AI that is like, think like this person. This is how I want you to think. Now go perform this task. Understanding that is going to be key, and I think it's going to be huge in the future of AI, because the more specific we get with what we want, then you're going to get it. Like, is there a code for this type of person's thought process? How can we put that in there? And that's what this is all about. So starting to understand that and look at this in a real world way, I think is absolutely key. And if you can see that, you can make it work. So hopefully you enjoyed this training. If you want to see some of the prompts, we will have some over at personalityprompts.com. You can get them and check out some of the ones that we have there. You can check out the pilot program or whatever we're calling it there, and smash the like button. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought as a comment below.